So, welcome to part 2 of this Let's Build. In the last part we stopped at the assembly of the base frame around here. Off camera I added the braces here, the corner pieces here, because it's not very interesting to see the assembly of these. It's pretty much the same as here. We also found out that they forgot to include a screw. I only got 7 pieces of the M5 45mm screw instead of 8. And I have found out that I can get a replacement screw in my home improvement store in my local. So I will probably do that instead of trying to figure out how to contact the original reseller, and I don't know, that sounds way too complicated for a piece that is going to cost a few cents max. Again, the tools we used were these 2 hex wrenches, which are also included in the kit. I used mine because they are a little bit bigger, and it makes it it's not so difficult to get them torqued down with more torque, basically. And we don't really have to worry about the amount of torque here because these should all be relatively sturdy here. What we used were package A, at least parts of package A, parts of package C, and parts of these corner packages. Unfortunately, these are not noticed in the assembly instructions. You just have to go through the packaging lists and see where is what. In my opinion, a missed opportunity. If you already label them, at least they should tell you in the manual which package the parts are in. So let's get that out of the way and finish the base frame, and then get to the next part, which is the sliding plate assembly, so the top one. Okay, to finish up the base, we turn it around and stick it up like this. You can see I unfortunately scratched it up a little bit when I assembled it, as well as some of these corners are not perfectly aligned like this one. This is not the time to align them properly. So we will untorque them here a little bit and slide them back. So a bit here and the last one here. Oh, come on. No. Okay. Getting there. Okay. This looks good. Sorry about that. Okay, now they are aligned. And you should make sure that they are aligned appropriately with something very flat. Something like this one, for example. Well, it looks good. So let's torque them back up. So. Now all corners should be aligned. As you can see, the scratches, unfortunately I forgot to place something soft on the ground, and that's why it got scratched. So be careful when you assemble it. If you want to get around these scratches, make sure to put something on the floor. The good thing is this is the underside, so nobody really will see it, and therefore it's not a huge problem for me. The last bit of the space frame assembly is these things. In the smaller versions of this 3D printer, the standard X5SA and a little bit bigger one, the 400 version, there are no feet. They are just some rubber boots. These are proper feet for this. So let's look in the assembly instructions. They want us to have one. Why didn't they remove this? Okay. And the trash bin. One goes on top here, and one goes at the bottom, I guess. They want us to screw it down in the sides here. Ah, there's two of them. Huh, interesting. So you don't have to stick it through. There is already a pre-cut. So basically you don't need both nuts, I assume. Probably only for stabilization here. I'm not sure why they have two here. But I mean, it's going to work that way anyway. So, and the last one. When this is fully assembled, the entire weight of the 3D printer will be distributed among these 4 feet. So when you're leveling it to the ground, you should also make sure that you don't put the weight all on the aluminium threads here and put some on these nuts. Otherwise the threads may strip, which would be quite unfortunate. I just saw that this one is not aligned perfectly. Redo this one, like so. So this one hopefully was the last alignment. It's really important that you get these alignments perfect. Otherwise the whole printer will not work the way it is supposed to be. Now we have to place it this way for step 2, or more like part 2 And step one again, which is one base frame, which we have here. Then aluminum 4, which is a 2020 with 740 millimeters. I would say this looks right. 2 pieces. One L skateboard. Interesting name for that. This one is labeled Air, so this one does not have a label. And Air skateboard. Well, let's hope that these are the right parts. They are not perfectly labeled, but they look about right, I would say. And screws M6 25 millimeters, 16 pieces. Well, what could they be? M6 25 16 pieces. Okay, right here. This is package A again. So these can go. And this one is the assembly instructions. And part 1 is we want on these should be aluminum 3s. Let me look in this again. The aluminum 3 is the 40 by 20 with 630. So aluminum 3s here have the countersunken holes. So these are the ones. So the 20 by 20 aluminum 4s goes like these. This and this way. On the outer side of each. These are the aluminum 3 pieces, and these are the new aluminum 4 pieces, and this one is the aluminum 2 pieces. Aluminum 2, sorry. Yes, this looks about right. In theory, these shouldn't, yeah, they shouldn't fit. So it's easier to just try and figure out where they go by placing them. They are clearly too long for this. And make sure that they are on the outside, not like this on the inside. And we need the M6 25 millimeters. Let's confirm that. That looks right. And yeah, 25. That's also right. So these go in here. Like this. Screwing them down. And a little bit. And more on this side. Like this. Okay, looking good. This one is too small, so one size bigger, which would be a 4. For the whole assembly, I would recommend not to use electric tools, because the aluminum threads can really easily get stripped, especially if they are cheaply made and cheaply cut. You will strip them pretty darn fast. So either if you absolutely want to use an electric tools for this assembly, try to limit them to the lowest setting, just in case, and do the final torque by hand, just to make sure that you don't screw up the entire frame assembly. You may be able to cut the threads again, but I wouldn't bet on that. Well, this looks good. Let's make sure that they are on here before. This one's not. Okay, now. And this one. Good enough. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is unpacking these and putting the right carriages on. These should be labeled, yes they are. And then place them on each side. So the right one goes here and the left one goes there. This one is labeled with R, so I guess it's the right one. The other one is unlabeled. So let's hope this is the right one actually. And they should go on like this, with countersink holes upwards. Okay. And these facing inwards. Okay. Looking good. So that's the orientation of these carriages. The pulleys here should face inwards, the air on the top, and these countersink holes here should be on the top. Same goes for the left, just on the other side. So this one this way. And then here. Okay, the frame does not seem to be perfect. Let's hope that it will still work. And M6 ones on the ends as well. So as you can see, here is a gap. Here's no gap. Looks like that these 40 by 40 extrusions are not completely straight. Yeah, well, let's hope that it will work anyways. start to notice there's a lot of hoping in this whole print, in this whole let's build. I guess that's what you get for basically buying a really cheap, really big 3D printer. A lot of hoping and a lot of assembly. Check last time that this is the right way to mount them. Yes, that's right. And let's get this screws in. At least it looks like we have enough screws this time. I didn't think this was something to be happy about, but well. Okay, looks good. Good. The last one. So that's the carriage assembly, at least part of it. And the next part would be the sliding blade assembly. Well, basically the X carriage. Why X carriage? Don't know why they are calling it the sliding blade assembly, but okay. Basic frame, one piece. Yeah, we got this here. X-axis guide rail parts, which should be this one here. The print head parts we have there. The drag chain blade. I think that would be somewhere here. Is this one there right? No. Drag chain blade. Well, this one looks similar to the track chain blade. Oh, this one. There we go. And M4 20 screws. M4 by 26 pieces. 4 by 20s. So this package and this one. This one is not required. So what you need for the next step, step 3 in the assembly instructions, is the base frame, the X-axis rail, the package A again, the print head, and this track chain blade, which is for the track chain, and the M4 by 26 pieces. So, let's proceed. What do they want us to do here? Let me figure this one out. Well, that's where it starts. As shown in figure, the pulley on the print head runs through the X-axis guide rail and the slide block moves smoothly without any clearance. Sounds great. So, I believe the way they want us to do this is this way. Let's measure that these are the right ones. There should be 20, not 20. 22, yes, these are the right ones, and they want 6 pieces. 3 for this side, and 3 for the other side. Here. The last one. And this one. So, this should go like this. Okay, so we have to slide the print head on beforehand. And this is shown this way, okay. Untangle this one a little bit. The closed side here, so like this. So this one goes like this. The closer side, so the smaller gap here, goes into the print head. The other way it wouldn't even work. And this whole thing then mounts this way. The good thing is, these have small grooves here, the metal parts. So getting it properly square is a lot easier this way. But it's still annoying to get. I guess a third hand wouldn't be bad for this job. But unfortunately I don't have one lying around. So. Okay, this one did not work. That works. And this one right here. Okay, looks good. We don't need this one anymore. Okay. good. Okay. Okay. Now this is going to be one of the more complex parts. We need to get them perfectly aligned, basically. The good thing is now let's slide it this way, all the way here. A little bit like this. This looks square. Yes, okay. Okay. This side. Okay. Okay, sorry that I didn't speak with you, but this part is very, very important because they need to be perfectly straight on here, perfect 90 degrees. Otherwise, the whole printer will print not dimensionally accurate prints. Let's phrase it this way. The prints won't be really straight, especially corners will not really be 90 degrees. So you need to properly align them. Use something like this to get them aligned. Otherwise, the print will just not work properly. This was the more complicated part. Now we only need to put this. Well, I don't tell you that you have to do this, but that's a little bit annoying. There's something missing. This part is listed here, but they don't tell you where to put it. Not really, at least. So it is supposed to be somewhere here. And there's already supposed to be one bracket here, which I don't tell you that it is supposed to be there. Huh. But what bracket is supposed to be there? Can only guess at that point. I tell you how to get it there. Ah, okay. It's this one here. Okay. I figured it out. I don't tell you which it is because it's this part here. The small box there. They tell you that this T-shaped part should be 230 millimeters from the right side. So 230, which would be around here. From the right side, measured from here, I believe. So right about here. Let's hope that this is the right one. Nope, it is not the right one. Smaller one here. Where did I put it? Oh, there we are. Already ready. Okay. This one is straight. Like this. And then the whole assembly is supposed to be mounted like this here. Okay. Like this. I believe that is the way they want it. Yes, on the outside. And this one is supposed to be mounted like this one. That doesn't really make sense. So they want me to mount it like this. No, that can't be right. They want the cables to be routed around here. Or which way do they want it to be mounted? Like this? That doesn't seem to really make sense to me. So this is supposed to be here, but how are the cables supposed to be that way bent? Does make a lot more sense to do it like this. But then this one doesn't work. Huh. Either I'm not sure, either I'm stupid and don't know what they want me to do here, or they. Because I'm really not sure the way they want me to assemble this thing. I believe they forgot that there are cables in the way. This one is supposed to go right here. So let's do this. And this one is supposed to go like this. which is also very weird to do. Let me check again. This way. Okay, this makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. A little bit tight here. Then this one goes here. This thingy is in the way. Okay, let's screw this one down. And this. And then this should attach right here, I believe. A little bit too big. Let me get a smaller one. Okay. Okay. Get this one in here. That doesn't, that way. Oh, come on. Almost. They are really small and really annoying. Finally. So let's leave it like this. We'll need to figure out how to put this one on this side without destroying the cables anyway, which I hope I will figure out how. Perhaps we have to disassemble this one, route the cables first, and then assemble this one. But I guess let's call it a day and finish this part with leaving it like that, like this, with the base frame assembled, with the Y carriage assembled, the X carriage assembled, and the control box or splitter box here, switch box here, the hot end mounted, but the track chain not mounted yet. So the next part, until the next part, I will have hopefully figured out what to do to get this track chain attached to the hot end carriage here, kind of like this, but perhaps I can switch the cables to this side to get a little bit more wiggle room here. but I will figure this out off camera, and in the next part, part 3 of this Let's Build, I will tell you how I've done it, and hopefully then the traction will mount here properly. So until the next part of this series, part 3 of the Let's Build, and hope to see you again.